Tito.
And I'm Kokoy.
Together we are.
TITOS with ukulele.
And here we have, how do I say this brand name? Okay, guys.
If you've ever shopped online, you might be familiar with this brand. It's probably pronounced IRIN.
IRIN.
Yes. IRIN. IRIN.
IRIN. We don't know, honestly, don't know how to pronounce it. So,
But it is one of those brands from China, which is best for those budget shoppers out there. So this is this is their tenor sized. This is their tenor sized ukulele. They call it the Walnut series because yes, the wood seems like walnut. It patterned walnut. So this is their tenor series, which is roughly around $30.
yeah.
From the box.
Yeah, for me, okay, so we have F-holes here. I'm not used to seeing F-holes on a flat top.
Yes, it is a flat top, a very flat top with standard bridge, mounted bridge.
Yeah, but in spite of the flat top, you gotta check out the back.
Whoa, that is a big belly bowl. Yeah, so you have a very big belly bowl that is actually centered in the middle. And I think you pointed out to me that is not exactly centered.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so you do have a two-piece. So that is a big question mark on how did they put this together. Again, this is factory made. So what you're looking at seems to be a two-piece put together but not totally centered. They kind of book match, but again, it's not kind of centered. Even the bowl is not centered, and it's only up to here instead of the whole bowl.
Okay. Now, you do have a sound hole here on the side.
Yes, this is typical of these Chinese manufacturers that put some whatever engraved F holes here, whether it's F holes, round holes, or they usually put the sound here. I think, for my opinion, is to accentuate the sound towards you, so the player always feels like you're using a very nice sounding instrument. But
Now,
this comes at $30.
Yeah. And for that, you get two strap buttons, one here, and another one right there.
Yes, so at least it does have strap buttons, even if the instrument itself does not come with its own strap. Wood-wise, you can check out whatever reviews you might find in the online or whatever social media. They sometimes say that it might be veneer, but for me, it looks like it's really wood, probably a cheap version of, economic version of walnut. It's practically kind of, built as it is for the budget. You will see some manufacturing defects.
Yeah, well, the neck actually comes in three pieces. So you have one piece here for the heel. Then, of course, the neck itself. The headstock is the third piece.
Yes, without even using a scarf joint, which is more stable, this is practically just like glued together in like those three pieces. Okay, I do see different, it's a wedge. Okay, well, I would like to call it wedge joint, where the headstock is actually two pieces together, but wedged. However, you're incorrect. It's four pieces.
Oh.
The fourth is the veneer.
Okay.
So they have a veneer over here, which is practically back. I would say it's a veneer because apparently, like some other Chinese-made brands, the brand is practically like laser etched branding, but with the wood inlay. So maybe pine wood inlay. So again, when you look at the headstock, it's typical of the Chinese manufacturers, which means that in some areas you might find this in other brands.
So the fretboard and the bridge, they're stained. I don't know the original color, and they don't
not nicely stained.
Yeah, they don't have any coating whatsoever. I'd also like to point out, well, for quality control issues, this side of the fretboard on the side, okay, it's not. I don't know if it's visible
It's
in
rough.
the camera. There's rough is being gentle. There's
Pitting.
There's pitting on the fretboard.
But not only that, there's a chip. There's actually a chip, which is just probably just another one of those typical manufacturer's defects or factory defects. There's a chip on the nut. So when they installed the nut, it kind of chipped the wood.
Next, if you feel the waist here on the bottom part, it feels smooth. But the waist on this side, near the sound hole, it's rough.
So yes, it is a matte finish, very matte indeed.
Yeah, but you know, it's rough that you actually see texture in the wood.
Well, that's one way of knowing if it's real wood. So whether it is plied together, but it's so thin. Wait, the walls are so thin that it seems like this is one piece of wood. Yeah, cheap walnut, but it's still in a way solid wood. Yeah, you can say solid wood. The nut is typical plastic, not composite, but plastic.
The strings look plastic.
I would say even like a fishing line. Okay, the strings are probably, you know, similar to those crystal-like, you know, strings that you find in, well, some Aquila strings are like the fluoro crystal or something like that. So this is trying to mimic it, but they're practically not expensive strings.
Now, Kokoy, my understanding is that you've modified this.
Yes. Okay. Again, this is a $30 ukulele, so don't expect to put pickups on them. That would be on the $50 from brands like the other ones we've reviewed, like Akue. This one, what I did for this, I did want to experiment because first of all, it's kind of be hard for me to put a piezo pickup line here with a control if I have nowhere to place the control, right? Because the sound hole is right here. So what I did is I put a microphone pickup. Not always typically used for ukuleles because you fear that you'll have feedback, right? But since the sound hole is relatively on the side, in theory you would have less feedback problems if it's like plugging it in. So what I did is to put a microphone that is practically used for the cajon drum, the cajon drums. So it is one long microphone line, but you do have the same plug in, right? And one of the other reasons is because if the sound hole were on a regular face, it would be hard for me to angle to put that kind of long. We'll put up a picture here on what it looks like. So now I had to go through the side hole, which was easy. So when we do the sound sample now, we will show you the sound sample coming from the F holes, but also we will plug it in and see how it sounds like mic'd in. I mean, really mic'd in. The mic is inside. So let's move up.
Hello, mic test, hello. And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain.
Mic test.
Hello, check 1, 2, 3. Chicago, you rock! All right, Joe. Now that is like a mic test. It's a microphone inside there, you know. So sound-wise, again, you can tell me on all honest opinion, and how do you think this sounds like?
Well, if you're the kind of player who also incorporates it to their playing style, tapping or knocking on the uke body, that mic should pick it up very well because once again, it was meant for a cajon.
Well, you do blend it, of course, with pedals in your. But yes, in theory and also in practice, that because you have a small cajon and you have a microphone inside, then you can practically tap with it. Not too much, by the way, because this is kind of a very thin walnut, right?
Okay. Now, so given the price, there are
$30.
Few other finishing issues you have to watch out for. Number one, the sound hole, the edge, it feels rough. So
And also, you said.
this one, the frets aren't crowned that well. It feels a little sharp, especially here. But you hardly reach on this part of the fretboard while playing. Koy, I gotta ask you, for $30, did it come with a bag?
No, it does not come with a bag, but
It came with a box?
of course it comes with a box. They can't ship this, and probably that damage is not by the box because it was kind of packed enough. But IRIN, the brand, is well known for making accessories for different instruments, which is why they are one who actually sell you their own brand of bag. Now, you must be familiar with this white and black with white lining bag, which is usually associated with IRIN as a brand. So even in the first guess, that you wouldn't expect that they would have actually had multiple instruments. They make anything from ukuleles, banjos, even mandolins.
I've seen a mini electric guitar made by them.
Yes, again, these are China and probably maybe rebranded China-made instruments. So yes, they are catering to the budget line. Again, the bag itself, you're not gonna think that this is probably like $10 on a bad day. But when you're coming up to an instrument that is within that $30 range, you don't really expect that they throw in the sink.
Yeah, if you're a uke player, and let's say a lot of uke players will start off with soprano or concert, and you're looking to say buy a tenor, but you don't wanna spend that much in it. You just wanna get a tenor to see if it's for you. You want to experiment with your sound, but you're on a budget. But this one, if you can just overlook a few of the finishing issues, it does play well. The sound, once again, it won't compare to the more expensive ones, but at least the construction is solid, barring the finishing issues.
Yes, so the pro for a budget ukulele like this is that it does come in almost all sizes that ukuleles come in. From the brand, you can get you can get the soprano, you can go to concert, you can get the tenor, and they do have baritones as well as the guitar lele sizes, depending again on your region and where you are buying it from. So that is one of the pros, that if you're looking for a brand that will help you start off your ukulele journey, then you'll be happy to actually just purchase this. Again, they're also selling cheaper than some of the other brands from China that we have also reviewed, but those ones come with pickups, bags, etc. So the negative, of course, is they are very difficult with quality control, because they spin this out so fast and so much in volumes and volumes for all markets. So yes, you will have quality issues if you get past that. Plus, I think it's up to you. Most of their designs are really just in a way generic.
Now guys, we need your likes, we need your subs, really helps to keep us going. And once again, we look forward to you joining us for future episodes.